Moving on to next part, that is inventories, or next current asset, that is inventories. When you value inventories, or when you are recording inventory or recording any expense in your financial statements, there can be two types of treatment to any expense. Either expense can be recorded as an expense on income statement, or that expense can be capitalized as an asset on balance sheet. So if that expense relates to the current period, that is usually expense through income statement, and if from that expense economic benefits are expected in future, then you capitalize it as an asset in on balance sheet. So similarly with respect to inventories, from inventories you expect the future economic benefits to flow to the organization or to the business. That's why you capitalize on it on balance sheet or record it on balance sheet. But within these inventories, there are certain types of costs that should be expense. So any cost which is not directly related to inventory should be expense. So certain costs will be capitalized as a part of inventory, and some other costs or certain costs will be expensed out as a part of inventory expense or any other expense in income statement. So you should be able to differentiate between what is included in inventory cost and what is excluded from the inventory cost. So inventory cost includes purchase cost, that is cost of purchasing inventory; conversion cost, any cost required to convert inventory into usable form, or for example convert raw material into usable form; other costs to bring inventory in present location and condition; and normal amounts of wastage. All these are the part of inventory cost. So remember, anything which is required or any cost which is required to bring inventory into usable form or to bring inventory into sellable form is a part of inventory cost or will go to balance sheet. But if there is any cost which is not contributing to making the inventory usable, or which is not contributing to making the inventory sellable, or which is not a part of production process, that would go to income statement as an expense. So any other costs, for example abnormal amounts of wasted material, storage costs, administrative overheads and selling costs, are all expense through income statement. With respect to wastage, there can be two types of wastage. There can be a normal wastage that normally happens, or that is usual, or that can be predicted, or there can be abnormal wastage, that is unexpected wastage. So normal wastage is a part of asset cost or is capitalized as a part of inventory cost. Abnormal wastage is expensed out through income statement. Also for selling costs, there can be two types of also for storage costs, there can be two types of storage costs. One is the storage cost required to store, for example raw material, that is a part of production process or that is required to do the production, and other can be the storage cost related to finished goods. So storage cost related to raw material will be a part of inventory cost because it is related to production process, and that will go to balance sheet. And storage cost for of finished goods or storage cost related to finished goods will be a part of expense and will go to income statement. So remember the differences, or remember the amounts, or remember the items that would go to income statement or to balance sheet. Moving on, with respect to valuation of inventory, there can be three major methods that can be used to value inventory. There is a fourth method as well, that is specific identification, but that is a very basic method, so we are ignoring it here. Three key methods are FIFO, weighted average cost, and LIFO, that is last in first out. FIFO assumes that inventory which is bought first will be sold first. Weighted average cost assumes that inventory will be taken at the average cost, and last in first out assumes that inventory bought last will be sold out first. A key point to remember here is that LIFO is only allowed in US GAAP. LIFO is not allowed in IFRS. So IFRS restricts the use of LIFO. IFRS only allows FIFO and weighted average cost. Why is it important? Why is it important to know these valuation methods, or to go into this analyzing these valuation methods? This is important because that significantly impacts your profitability. and other ratios, like for example return on asset or any other ratio. So it significantly impacts your profitability and other performance ratios. That's why it is important to look into it. How does it impact the profitability ratios or impact the other ratios? So let's say that if you are using FIFO and if there is another company that is using LIFO, there is an asset that you are selling or there is a product that you are selling, and price of this product or this asset is going up, or the raw material, let's say, that you are buying for this asset, let's ignore this for the fact, raw material that you are buying for this asset, the price of that raw material is going up. So if you are using FIFO, you will assume that units that were bought first will be sold first. So let's say that you bought something in 2016 and then 2017 and then 2018. You bought it here for $100, then you bought it here for $105, and then you bought it for $110. FIFO will assume that you have sold the oldest inventory first. So if you have sold the oldest inventory, that means your cost of goods sold will be in FIFO will be $100, because the oldest inventory that you currently have with you is from 2016, that is $100. LIFO will assume that you have sold the most recent inventory or the latest bought inventory first. So that means your cost of goods sold will be 110. Let's say your price is $120 unit. So gross profit here will be $20 and gross profit here will be for LIFO will be $10. So that means use of FIFO or LIFO can significantly impact gross profit. So if you are comparing two companies, both should be using the same valuation method. If two companies are using different valuation method, then you need to make adjustment for differences in that valuation method to make them comparable. Otherwise, those two will not be comparable. So whenever comparing your company with your competitors or with the competitors or with the industry, make sure that all of them are using the same valuation method. If they are using different valuation method, then those two will not be comparable. You will need to make some adjustments to inventory or profitability.
So how do you make them comparable?
You will make them comparable by changing their inventory figure. So if for example a company has reported is valuing inventory in LIFO, then in disclosures it will also disclose another number that is known as, or another amount that is known as LIFO reserve. This LIFO reserve will tell you the difference between LIFO method and FIFO method. So you can use this LIFO reserve to adjust for LIFO into FIFO. So key idea is that whenever analyzing two different financial statements, make sure both of them are comparable. Moving on, inventory measurement, written down and reversal. So there can be different values in which you can calculate the value of inventory. So there can be a cost that you have incurred, there can be a market value, there can be a fair value, or there can be another concept that is known as NRV, net realizable value. So whenever you are recording inventory, IFRS requires you to book the inventory at lower of cost or net realizable value. So you will book the inventory at if the cost is lower than NRV, then you will book it at cost. If the NRV is lower than cost, then you will book it at NRV. So whichever of the two is lower, you will book the inventory at that cost, or you will record the inventory at that cost. Now cost is very simple, you know what the cost is. But what is NRV? NRV is estimated selling price minus costs that are necessary to make the sale. So any costs that are necessary to make the sale or to bring the product into sellable form or to complete the production of the product, those costs subtracted from estimated selling price give you NRV, net realizable value. This is the value that you expect to be realized on net basis. If this value NRV is lower than cost, then you record it at NRV. So whichever of the two is lower, you will record it at that number under IFRS. Under US GAAP, you also have LIFO. For LIFO, US GAAP asks you to, or US GAAP requires you to record the inventory at market value. This market value is again calculated using a different method which we are not going into. So as long as you know about IFRS and as long as you know this difference, you are good to go. So again, let's say that your inventory is $100, inventory's cost is $100, and when you analyze the NRV, you find out that the NRV is now only $80. So that means on your books you need to decrease the value of inventory. That means on your balance sheet you need to decrease the value of inventory from 100 to $80. Whenever you write down a value or whenever you reduce the value of any asset on balance sheet, that is known as write down, and that loss is recorded on income statement. So what you will do is you will reduce the value of inventory on balance sheet. So on balance sheet you will reduce it from 100 to 80, and this difference of $20 will be charged on income statement as a loss. So you will reduce the value on the balance sheet from 100 to 80, and this will be charged to income statement as a loss. How will it be charged to income statement as a loss? This change in value will lead to increase in cost of goods sold, and that increase in cost of goods sold will be a loss that you will have on your income statement. So when you reduce the value of closing inventory, that will result in increase in cost of goods sold, and that's how it will flow through income statement. So on balance sheet you will reduce the value, on income statement you will adjust it in cost of goods sold. Any confusion so far in this write down? Then later, let's say next year, this is 2016, in let's say 2017, value again goes up from $80 to $110. So previously your cost was $100, you wrote it down to $80. Now the value has again gone up to $110. So what should you do now? So how much will be the gain? So gain will be, remember one key point, that whenever you write down inventory under IFRS, if you are reversing that write down value, or if you are now increasing the value can only go up to the previous cost. उससे ऊपर नहीं जा सकती. जो भी आपकी कॉस्ट थी उससे ऊपर वैल्यू नहीं ले जा सकते. वैल्यू अगर आप इंक्रीज भी कर रहे हैं, कोई राइट डाउन रिवर्स भी कर रहे हैं, तो सिर्फ आप राइट डाउन रिवर्स कर सकते हैं. आप वैल्यू प्रीवियस वैल्यू से प्रीवियस कॉस्ट से ऊपर लेकर नहीं जा सकते, बिकॉज अगेन यू हैव टू फॉलो द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ लोअर ऑफ कॉस्ट और एनआरवी. अगर एनआरवी 100 से ऊपर चली गई है, 110 हो गई है, सो नाउ लोअर ऑफ द टू इज 100. So you will record your asset at $100. So on your balance sheet in 2017, you will record asset at $100. From 80, you will again take it to $100. You will ignore the remaining $10 because that is not relevant to you. You will only take it to $100, and you will record $20 gain on your income statement in cost of goods sold. So your cost of goods sold will go down by $20 and will lead to a gain in your income statement. Yes. So let's say your inventory was $100. You found out NRV and NRV came out to be $80. This is 2016. So you reported it at $80 on balance sheet, and you recorded $20 as a loss on income statement in terms of cost of goods sold. In 2017, now you found out that the inventory's NRV is $110. So you will now again compare NRV with the previous cost. From these two, whichever is lower, that will be taken as the reported value. So from 100 and 110, lower value is 100. So you will report the inventory at 100. And again, if you are taking it from 80 to 100, then there is a $20 gain. That $20 will be reported in or recorded in income statement as a gain in cost of goods sold, or cost of goods sold will go down by $20. $2 billion. This is the value of inventory on balance sheet. So on balance sheet the value of inventory is 2 billion. और आपने चार्ज कितना बुक करा है एक्सेस इन्वेंट्री का? 2.36 बिलियन, विच मीन्स कि जितनी आप इन्वेंट्री कैरी कर रहे थे टोटल, उसमें से अप्रोक्सीमेटली हाफ से ज्यादा का आपने चार्ज बुक कर लिया. सो अभी कितनी है वैल्यू? 2 बिलियन, और चार्ज कितना बुक हुआ है? 2.25. दैट मीन्स चार्ज बुक होने से पहले कितनी होगी? 2 + 2.25 4.25 बिलियन। सो 4.25 बिलियन की आपकी पहले टोटल इन्वेंट्री थी और उसमें से आपने 2.25 बिलियन का चार्ज बुक कर लिया। दैट मीन्स यू आर सेइंग कि हमने 4.25 बिलियन की इन्वेंट्री बनाई और उसमें से हम 2.25 बिलियन सेल ही नहीं कर पाएंगे। सो दैट इज अ स्ट्रेट लॉस टू अस। सो व्हाट आर द कंसर्न्स दैट यू मे हैव इन दिस, और इसको देख के क्या लग रहा है, क्या कंसर्न्स हो सकते हैं या क्या हो रहा है कंपनी के साथ as an analyst? So first question is this a problem or is this a good thing? It is a problem कि कंपनी जो है वो उसने इतनी बड़ा चार्ज ले लिया। यूजुअली अगर चार्ज हो भी तो आप 1% ऑफ इन्वेंट्री ले रहे हैं, 2% ऑफ इन्वेंट्री ले रहे हैं, वो समझ आते हैं ऑब्सोलीट होने की वजह से 3% 4%, बट दे हैव बुक मोर देन हाफ ऑफ द इन्वेंट्री एज एन ऑब्सोलीट आइटम और एज अ चार्ज। व्हाट डज इट मीन? इसका मतलब क्या है? एग्जैक्टली। सो मे बी कंपनी इज नॉट एबल टू फोरकास्ट इट्स डिमांड। कंपनी को पता ही नहीं था कि उसकी डिमांड कितनी आएगी। सो मे बी डिमांड फोरकास्टिंग इज वेरी वीक एंड नॉट इवन वीक, डिमांड फोरकास्टिंग के साथ कोई मेजर प्रॉब्लम्स है। अगर वीक भी होगी तो थोड़ा बहुत 5, 10, 15% का इम्पैक्ट आएगा। दिस मीन्स कि डिमांड फोरकास्टिंग ओवरऑल जो है वो बिल्कुल ही गलत है, या तो बिल्कुल ही गलत है या फिर समथिंग बिग हैज गॉन रॉन्ग विद द कंपनी। और क्या हो सकता है? So one reason is that demand forecasting may be wrong, was wrong, and company is not able to forecast its demand, which is a big problem. अगर ये प्रॉब्लम है तो इसका मतलब है कंपनी ने आज तक की जितनी फोरकास्ट दी है या जितने प्लान्स हैं, कंपनी विल नॉट बी एबल टू डिलीवर ऑन दोस प्लान्स। सो नेक्स्ट कंसर्न इज दैट कंपनी will might not be able to deliver on its plans or on its strategies. कंपनी की कोई ग्रोथ स्ट्रेटजी होगी, कोई प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी स्ट्रेटजी होगी, प्रॉफिट इंप्रूवमेंट स्ट्रेटजी होगी, कोई कंपैरेटिव स्ट्रेटजी होगी, कोई कंपैटिटर्स को आउटपेस करने की स्ट्रेटजी होगी। अगर कंपनी अपनी डिमांड ही फोरकास्ट बिल्कुल ही नहीं कर पा रही है, उसको कुछ मार्केट का पता ही नहीं है, सो दैट मीन्स कंपनी विल नॉट बी एबल टू डिलीवर ऑन इट्स प्लान्स और ऑन इट्स strategies. So that means there is something big wrong with the future of the company, or everything that management has so far said, that's reliability has become questionable. Maybe it looks like management itself does not know about the business कि इंडस्ट्री में हो क्या रहा है या क्या ट्रेंड्स चेंज हो रहा है। और क्या प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है? सो थिंक इट फ्रॉम द पर्सपेक्टिव, अगर ये आपका अपना बिजनेस होता क्या प्रॉब्लम हुई होती? क्या आपको लगता है किस वजह से आपको इन्वेंट्री राइट डाउन इतना बड़ा लेना पड़ा होता? क्यों आप सेल नहीं कर पाए? व्हाट आर द रीजन फॉर नॉट बीइंग एबल टू सेल? एनी अदर रीजन? Maybe a big competitor came up and you were not able to predict it, or maybe consumer trends change, or that again relates to plans. Or another reason can be maybe that you maybe demand forecasting was correct, maybe demand forecasting sahi thi, but you were not able to get your product to the consumer. Maybe there were some issues in supply chain. Sorry, आउटडेट हो गई। मे बी देयर वर सम इश्यूज इन सप्लाई चेन और डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन। मे बी आपकी प्रोडक्ट पोर्ट पे रुक गई, मे बी आपके डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स जो थे वो उन्होंने आप रिजाइन कर दिया। सो मे बी यू आर नॉट एबल टू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट योर प्रोडक्ट। सो मे बी देयर आर सम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन प्रॉब्लम्स और सप्लाई चेन प्रॉब्लम। लाइक हैपेंड विद एप्पल इन चाइना एज वेल, कि जब आईफोन इन्होंने लॉन्च करा था तो चाइना में सब शॉर्टेज हो गई थी। दे वर एबल टू प्रेडिक्ट डिमांड, बट ड्यू टू सप्लाई चेन इश्यूज they were not able to ship enough of the or sorry, they shipped more than required number of iPhones. So they were that there was a risk of those getting obsolete. तो वो वहाँ पे पड़े हुए obsolete हो रहे थे। वीक मार्केटिंग स्ट्रेटजीज, और इसके अंदर वीक नहीं होगी, इसके अंदर तो कंप्लीट फेलियर होगा, कंप्लीट फेलियर ऑफ मार्केटिंग मे बी पॉसिबली। So whenever you are looking at the inventory, it is or looking at the financial statement, you should find out any abnormality in any inventory write down, receivables write down, or with any current asset, and you should look for the reason, because only on these reasons you can analyze the future of the company कि future में क्या हो सकता है। Another reason can be, जो इस सब में ignore हो रहा है, that can be कि maybe कंपनी ने अपनी अर्निंग्स को अंडर स्टेट करने के लिए, मे बी ड्यू टू सम टैक्स सेविंग्स और समथिंग, मे बी अंडर स्टेट करने के लिए इसने ओवर चार्ज ले लिया। सो मे बी इट टुक मोर चार्ज देन रिक्वायर्ड। इफ दैट इज द केस, और मे बी किसी और भी वजह से हो सकता है कि इन्वेंट्री इतनी ज्यादा ऑब्सलीट होने के चांसेस नहीं हो जितना उसने चार्ज ले लिया. If that is the case, then what would happen? In future, your reported earnings will be higher. So if that is the case कि कंपनी ने अगर ओवरचार्ज ले लिया and if you found out कि कंपनी ने जितना चार्ज लिया है ये रिलेट नहीं करता है to the obsolescence, if you find that out, then when the company's stock price falls, you can immediately buy the company because you know कि market has overreacted and in future price will go up as reported earnings go up. So key point is knowing this change, and another key point is knowing the reason for this change. Until and unless you know the reason, you won't be able to take any action. So another possible reason can be reported earnings increasing in later period. So any confusion so far till now till inventory?